so we can begin this contest. First of all, a reminder, please turn off your phones, if you still have them. And I actually met someone who did recently, your beepers. Whatever toys you have brought in, turn them off. All right, at this point, I want to introduce our humorous speech contest chair, Melissa Newport.
Good evening, everyone. Anyone here ready for a giggle?
Yeah.
A laugh?
Yeah.
You came to the right place. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I'm going to introduce our contest Toastmaster. She truly embodies the word international that's in Toastmasters International. She's lived abroad for 37 years, spending time in France, Egypt, Qatar, and Pakistan. She joined Toastmasters in 1997 and was a founding member of the second Toastmasters Club in Qatar. While overseas, she served as an area governor for all of the English-speaking clubs in France. She then stepped up to serve as a division governor for all of the English-speaking clubs in France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. She returned to her hometown of Chicago in 2010, and at that point helped found the bilingual Francophone Toastmasters Club, which was President's Distinguished in its first year. She is certainly no stranger to contests. She's been competing in contests since 2001, and in fact, she was our very own winner of the District 30 Humorous contest last year. She is very excited to be here today with us. Please help me welcome, as our contest Toastmaster, Joanne Elster Frere.
That's okay. In France, everybody called me Joanne. They couldn't say Joanne. So there you go. To begin with, I would like just to remind everyone, if you didn't hear Jill a minute ago, please take out your phone right now and turn it off. There's nothing worse for a contestant than to have somebody's phone ringing. And we've seen that before here, so please turn it off. I would like to recognize our three top dignitaries in the room. Our District Governor, Michelle Cabell. Our Lieutenant Governor of Education and Training, Donna Weston. And our Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, Ethel Goatee. And since we're excited to get on to the contest, I won't say the names of all the division governors and all the area governors in this room because we'd be here all night, but they're doing great work, and would you please all stand up and let us applaud you. It's a tough job, and to make it worse, you're not allowed to compete in contests. The contestants, the timers, the ballot counters, and the sergeant-at-arms have all been briefed prior to the beginning of this contest, and everyone is aware of the Toastmaster International rules that govern this contest. No one should enter or leave the room, so could we please close that door? Could you please come in and close the door? Could we please close the door? Okay. So you cannot leave during the presentations. You may do so if time permits during the minute of silence between presentations. And with that said, let the contest begin. Let me give you the speaking order of the contestants. Contestant number 1, Patrick Devitt. Give you a second to write it down. Contestant number 2, Cassie Moore. Cassie Moore. Contestant number 3, Yvonne Bailey. Yvonne Bailey. Contestant number 4, Kathy Joe. Contestant number 4, Kathy Joe. Contestant number 5, Deidre Blair. Deidre Blair is contestant number 5. Contestant number 6, Brad Belmore. Contestant number 6, Brad Belmore. Contestant number 7, Dan Stanton. Contestant number 7, Dan Stanton. And contestant number 8, Garrett Gray. Contestant number 8, Garrett Gray. There will be 1 minute of complete and utter silence between each contestant. This is very important for the judges. If you've ever been a judge, you know that you really need that silence to concentrate and think about your judging. Timekeepers, when I advise you to do so, please signal me with the green light when 1 minute is up. After all contestants have spoken, the judges will be given all the time they need to complete their ballots. We will now begin the humorous speech contest. Before we call on our first contestants, let's all give a nice laugh. Let's get warmed up, you know. As a former humorous speaker contestant, I can tell you it just feels so good when you make somebody laugh. So just enjoy yourselves, laugh away, and we'll all have a really fun contest. Are you ready? Yes! Let's go! Woo! You can make all the noise you want clapping, but when it's silent, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Patrick Devitt. Much ado, much about nothing. Patrick Devitt. Much about nothing. Patrick Devitt.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, why do we make such a big deal about nothing? We all do. We all have that one person in the neighborhood. 2 weeks in the summer, their grass is up to your waist. Every time we go by, we have to make that comment. Look at this guy. Can't even mow his lawn. Guy does nothing. Or maybe you can relate to this. 2 weeks ago, I'm moving. I asked 12 of my friends to come and help. That's not even the funny part. 0 show up. My wife says, your friends are good for nothing. And she's right. Except when she says that about me. Even kids get in on action. But what you guys doing in there? Oh, nothing. That's the one that people read. There's nothing wrong with doing nothing. In fact, I like doing nothing. I'm willing to bet everybody in this room enjoys doing nothing. And right there I prove my point. You guys aren't even going to agree with me. No, I'm not going to raise my hand. It's done nothing. Forget it. 2 months ago, Friday at 4 o'clock, the best time to do nothing. So that's what I was doing. Absolutely nothing. I had a weekend full of nothing coming up. My sister had just texted me, said, dinner at my parents' Saturday night, bring nothing. All right. I could handle that. But all of a sudden, everything changed. boom, I got an instant message from the Vice President of Education. Now, everybody in Toastmasters knows the Vice President of Education only comes to you for one reason. To fill a role. Great. Our club contest was a week away. I figure she probably wants me to be a judge or a ballot counter. I'm so good at counting. I open it up and it's even worse. Patrick, will you compete in next week's humor contest? So just as I'm about to type in an O, my subconscious takes over. And the N-O turns into an O-K. What'd you do that for? Come on, Patrick, it's Toastmasters. You love giving speeches. Oh, I know, but this is a week away. I don't have anything. People are going to expect a laugh. I got nothing. Look up there. I'm nothing. Yeah, I got a lot of cobwebs up here. You could do it on anything. You could do it on nothing. Nothing? Seinfeld did an episode on nothing. Conference gets paid to do nothing. Can I do a speech on nothing? I can't just stand up here and do nothing. So I gotta say something. If I'm saying something about nothing, I'm only saying something. And everything I know about nothing is really something. So something about nothing is really something. Everything about nothing is really something. So I gotta say something about nothing. And now I said a whole lot of nothing. I got half this room confused. They don't know what the heck I'm talking about. These two tables over here are saying, nothing this guy says is funny, which the whole speech is about nothing, so that's actually a compliment. So thank you very much. Would you look at that, Iris? Wait, you have 4 minutes of speech. So I have to share this great news. So who better to share the news with is my dear old mom. So I whip out my phone. Old school, none of this cell phone. I call my mom old school. And I say, hey, Mom, I got the message. I'll be coming to dinner tomorrow, and I want to let you know I'm in a speech contest. Oh, Patrick! So glad to hear you coming. What's this about the speech? Oh, Mom, it's really nothing. I'm in a speech contest, you're in a speech about nothing. Oh, Patrick! I know you don't like to talk about your speeches. What's this speech about? No, really, Mom, it's a speech. I'm doing a speech. I'm in a contest, doing about nothing. Patrick, I'm an old lady! Don't give this to your mother! Tell me about the speech! No, really, Mom? I'm doing a speech contest, I'm doing a speech about nothing. She hangs up on me. My own mother! 2 minutes later, phone rings. Hello? Oh, it's my father! Patrick, what's this you're giving your mother a hard time, Mom? What's this you're doing a speech? Oh yeah, hey Dan. No, I'm in a contest, I'm doing a speech about nothing. What do you mean a speech about nothing? Just that, I'm doing a speech, I'm in a contest, speech about nothing. Where did I go wrong with you? And he hangs up. My own father. 5 minutes pass. Phone rings again. Hello? It's my sister. What's wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. What are you giving Mom and Dad a hard time? Blah, blah, blah. You're not invited over for dinner. Blah, 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 blah. She's still talking to this day. So there I am. I have my mother, my father, my sister, all mad at me. I'm no longer invited for dinner. All over nothing. At least I can say I accomplished something. Over nothing.
Now the hardest thing for Toastmasters, may we have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Thank you. Our next contestant is Cassie Moore, the Dead Sea Mud Rap. I wish I were dead. The Dead Sea Mud Rap. I wish I were dead. Cassie Moore.
For those of you who have been to a spa, you know what a rejuvenating experience this could be, or so I thought. Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and honored judges. I was in my late 20s, I was married, I had small children, and one morning I found myself in the bank parking lot, in my nightgown, parka, boots, digging under my minivan for a Barney doll, and it occurred to me, boy, do I need a break. I really needed to get out of here. So my girlfriends and I decided that we would go away for a spa weekend. So we sent away for the brochures and we get them in the mail. This looks fabulous. I get to be rejuvenated, relaxed, glowing skin. I even get to have tight pores. Never having been to a spa before, I sign up for the works. Little did I know that the works included Helga in her house of torture. I arrive at the spa and my first treatment is called the Dead Sea Mud Wrap, followed by a swish shower. My perky little spa attendant takes me down to the mud room. She opens the door and there she stood. Helga, this former Olympian bodybuilder with a unibrow. Wow, don't they have spa services for that unibrow? She says to me, put your robe over here and get onto the table. Whoa, wait a minute. Naked? In the brochures, there were sheets, there were towels, and there was coverage. So she said, you want a towel? And she hands me this. She finally convinces me you can't do a mud wrap in a robe. So up onto the table I go. She then proceeds to pop open a can of the Dead Sea Mud, which is this gray-green concoction that kind of smells like seaweed. She then takes it and starts to slather this stuff all over my body. I am holding on to every shred of dignity here. Helga is literally taking liberties with me that my husband hasn't even. Sensing my horror, she says to me, I've had 5 children, I've seen it all. Well, Toots, you haven't seen my all. After which, she takes out this industrial roll of cellophane and starts to wrap my body with this cellophane. I'm wrapped tighter than a stiff in a mafia movie. At this point, I wish I were dead. She then lays me down with the towels, cucumbers on the eyes. She then lights the incense, leaves the room, and says, relax. Out she goes. 10 seconds out the door, and I realize I am so wrapped tightly. I can't move. And I say, holy claustrophobia. And when I mean claustrophobic, when I get on an elevator, I need a Xanax. So I start out slow and quiet. We're in a spa, for God's sakes. There really shouldn't be screaming coming from the treatment rooms. Helga! Are you there? Dead silence. Helga! Are you there? Helga! Nothing, dead silence. So I take it up a notch. I sit bolt right up on the table, and I am squirming, trying to get this cellophane to move. I think they got a duct tape to my body. Can't get it. So I lay back down. Lamaze breathing. This is going to do the trick. gyrating, squirming, and yelling. I finally just passed out from sheer exhaustion. Next thing I know, I open my eyes, and there is Helga in her unibrow looking over me. She says, "See, now you're relaxed. Follow me to the Swiss shower." She literally walks over and opens the door to the spa lobby. Boy, I did not see this coming. So at this point, I am butt naked, slathered in mud, tightly bound in cellophane, hopping the lobby up the side. Over here, I can kind of see some ladies, they're drinking green tea, and I think, don't make eye contact, don't make eye contact. Finally, I get up enough nerve to look up. And I see her, this young girl, and she's giving me the look. And you guys know that look. Any of you who have teenage daughters, you've seen this look. That appalled, disgusting look, like you'll never catch me dead doing this. Well, I just thought, well, sister, you're next. After my walk of shame, we end up at the Swiss shower, and for any of you who are not familiar, a Swiss shower is a large shower room with a fire hose manned by Helga that pulsates scalding hot water alternately with cold. As you rotate while all your parts are being cleansed. I think I've seen this in scary prison movies. And all I can think of is, I'm spending good money on this. Well, finally, my treatment's over. I run back to the room so fast, flopped down on the bed, popped open a bottle of wine. It was 10 a.m. Next time, I'm going to do some research. But all good things must come to an end. Hotel Spa Resort, $211.50. Dead Sea Mud Wrap, Swiss Shower, plus tip, $480.30. Wine, $85.74. Post-traumatic stress disorder inflicted by Helga, priceless.
May we have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Contestant number 3 is Yvonne Bailey. Be prepared for the unexpected. Be prepared for the unexpected, Yvonne Bailey.
Contest chair and fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. If you travel to various locations for speaking engagements, you will need to be prepared for the unexpected. You can be prepared first by being flexible. Second, by keeping a list of items in your car. A full tank of gas, a computer bag strap, a roll of heavy-duty tape, and a GPS device. I was invited to go to Chicago Heights, Illinois, to share encouraging words at a graduation event. I took out my GPS, I typed in Chicago Heights. 20 minutes later, I heard, "You have arrived." To my surprise, the graduates were not high schoolers, but 5-year-olds. There was no time to change my presentation to "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" or "Old MacDonald Had a Farm." I had to share what I had prepared. So the little people heard, "Creating a brighter tomorrow begins with changing your life today by taking that first step and exercising your faith as long as there is breath. You have a reason to live, something to give, and a dream to fulfill." The entire time I'm speaking, they're twisting and turning, they're poking, they're talking, they're squirming. It was like a Charlie Brown scene, where the teacher speaks and the kids hear wah, 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 wah. I told myself they have ears and they can hear me. And according to the Metcalf study conducted by the University of Texas, we retain 20% of what we hear. So I believe I planted a seed. On another occasion, I was invited to go to Kankakee, Illinois, to share encouraging words. I took out my GPS, I typed in the Kankakee address. 40 minutes later, "You have arrived." Right before showtime, the promoter comes to me to tell me that the MC canceled. I said, "Okay." And then she said, "Can you be the MC?" The Toastmaster in me said, "Yes, I can." The other voice said, "You've never been an MC before. What are you going to do, be a Toastmaster?" That's exactly what I did. And I guess I did a good job because the promoter called me again. She said, "Can you go to Inglewood and share encouraging words?" Yes. Took out the GPS, typed in the Inglewood address. 40 minutes later, I hear, "You have arrived." And then my cell phone rang. It was the promoter. She said she can't be there. And then she wanted to know, can I be the MC? Be prepared. Be prepared for the unexpected and be flexible. I guess I did a good job. The promoter called again. "Can you go to Joliet and be the MC?" Yes. Took out the GPS, typed in the Joliet address. 45 minutes later, not quite there. This is a good place to interject. If you are using a GPS to find your way, turn your music down. Because if you don't, you might miss your turn. That's what happened to me. I missed that first turn, turned the music down, missed the second turn. I'm listening, I hear rerouting, 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 come on. And then turn left here, ding, 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 and I do. And bam! I collided with another car. How did this happen? I sat there for a moment. I'm okay, I'm not injured. I get out of the car. The other driver gets out of her car. She's yelling. She's angry. She's making accusations. She's pointing at me. All I know is turn left here, ding, ding, ding. The police arrive. They talk to the other driver. They're filling out the report. They come to talk to me. I told them, turn left here, ding, ding, ding. They give me a moving violation for turn left here, ding, ding, ding. I call my husband, "Honey, let me tell you about turn left here, ding, ding, ding." He says, "Yvonne, your GPS is a tool. You still have to use common sense and follow the rules of the road." I get off the phone with him. Call the promoter. "I'm not going to make it. I had a car accident." "Are you sure you can't make it?" I said, "Well, my bumper's in the middle of the street. My headlight's on the ground. I don't think I'm going to make it, but if I do, I'll give you a call back." I call my husband back. He says, "You're not going to that event. You don't know what else is wrong with your car. Get your bumper, get your headlight, put them in the car, come home now." I hung up, dashed into action, ran into the street, picked up my bumper, popped the trunk. It won't fit in the trunk. catch. I'll just push it back in. Falls back out. Then I remember MacGyver. He was always able to fix anything with what he had on hand. Let's see what we have on hand. Pop the trunk, look inside. I got nothing. I need some tape. I look inside the car. What do I have? I gotta have something. Gotta be something. My purse strap, it comes off. I take that off. Try to tie up that headlight. Too short. No, that doesn't work. Computer bag strap. Get the computer bag strap. I extend it. Yes. Use it like a bra. Flip. It's good. I'm a guy. Yes! I feel like I'm at a party, but I have to go home, and I'm still lost. And I have to use the GPS to find my way to the highway. I don't trust that GPS girl anymore. According to USA Today, many motorists blindly follow their GPSs into all sorts of mishaps. And when the authorities ask them what went wrong, everyone says, turn left here, ding, ding, ding. My advice, be flexible. Keep a list of items in your car. A full tank of gas, a computer bag strap, a roll of heavy-duty tape, and a GPS. But remember, the GPS is only a tool. Use common sense, follow the rules of the road, and be prepared for the unexpected.
We will now have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Our fourth contestant is Kathy Jo. Where is my iPad? Where is my iPad, Kathy Jo?
spend hours there. Peaceful. Did you see my iPad? I asked. No response. Not a surprise. Did you see my iPad? I cannot find my iPad. He slightly turned his head, hand still on the mouse. You're not listening. Yes, I heard you. You just said, did you see my iPad? I cannot find my iPad. You're not listening. Did you see it? No. You don't listen to me, you never did. And also, last time I made bean soup for you. How come you did not like it? You don't like any soup I made. Have you ever liked my cookie? You don't love me anymore, do you? When was the last time you saw your iPad? I don't know. I took it out with me, just could not find it anymore. I think I might have lost it. What am I gonna do? Well, just go get a new one. I'm okay with it. This guy was sent by God into my life to fix all my problems. That night, I had lots of dreams about lots of iPads. The next day I got up, the two girls were watching Curious George. Did you just see my iPad? No, the older one answered, eyes on TV. You lost it. Yes, Mommy. My 2-year-old looked up at me, smiling. You did? I was surprised, because she was not allowed to touch my iPad, so what did she know? Where? Upstairs. To her, everything was upstairs. Her books, her toys, her baby doll. So, can I believe her? But I still had hope. Show me, Claire. She got up, obviously very happy with the attention she received. So I followed her upstairs to her bedroom. Crack. So I looked at her bed between the wall and the bed. Nothing but dust. Bathroom dude. Then I walked into the bathroom, looked on the counter. No iPad. Mommy, I want Curious George. She was holding the handrest there to go down. But Claire, you told me you saw my iPad. I was desperate. Under bed. So I walked back into her bedroom, knelt down on the carpet, and looked underneath her bed. Wow, quite a scene here. George still on diaper? Only 2 socks in the house to match. Ken, summer's over, put on some clothes. Is this her cup? What is it? What's in it? She's afraid of monsters. Does she know she's making one under the bed? Where is my iPad? Did she really know where the iPad was? Or could it really be underneath that bed? Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, one more try. Oh, the cover of the iPad? Now I look further. Holy iPad! It's lying there! I found my iPad! I just like you. I know, it's crazy. This is my iPad. I'll go away. I found my iPad! My little 2-year-old having found my iPad. Hey kiddo, I'm gonna take you to Chuck E. Cheese! Ba, 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 ba. You found my iPad!
have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Contestant number 5, Deidre Blair, smooth operator. Smooth operator, Deidre Blair.
They call me the smooth operator. That's right. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How many of you like to dance? That's a lot of you. And the time we can all relate to where dance was extremely important is high school. You remember the sock hops, the homecoming dance, and then there was that one dance everyone wanted to go to. Do you remember what that was? No, not the prom. The house party. Everyone wanted to go to the house party. We had waistline dances. We had weight dances. I think I only paid about 75 cents. I might break the bank if I went to a weight dance now. But we had all types of house parties. And the house party was the one where you had to have it together. And that's where we began to develop OUS, not ours, your own unique style. And I definitely had mine. You see, my jeans had to be creased to the T. The creases would be so sharp they could cut diamonds. And I had an afro at that time. So I even had my own unique style of making my afro the best. I would put a scarf on my head and tie it, and then I would shape it, and voila, a perfectly round globe. At one particular party, the girls were on one side and the boys on the other as usual. Ladies, I know you remember how we as girls would get in the corner and we would cackle about, oh, he's so cute. Oh, that one, he's cool. I would like to dance with him. And this party came, and one guy walked in, and I tell you, he was the coolest and the finest I had ever seen. And while my girlfriends were over in the corner cackling, I had strategy. I ignored him as if he'd never walked into the room. And sure enough, my strategy worked. He sauntered across the dance floor as cool as could be. He was so cool, he walked right up and just held out his hand. He never said one word, but I knew what that meant. May I have this dance? I winked at my girlfriend and followed him on out to the dance floor. During that time, we had a popular dance called the bop. And it went a little bit like this. You would step out, step back, and then the guy would spin you around and you just begin to dance. And my favorite bop song of all came on. It was Mighty Love by the Spinners. A mighty love will sometimes make a weak man strong. Some of you may remember that. Yes. And it required that you had a partner. So my partner and me, we stepped out, we stepped back, and he spun me around. And as I turned, my girlfriends were over in the corner laughing and pointing in our direction. And I'm like, what is so funny? I'm with the coolest guy in here. And I turned around and OMG. He had a tooth missing! But he could pop. So I finished out the dance. And then when he asked if he could speak with me, I politely made my excuses and went back to the corner with my girlfriends and laughed. Now guys, I don't want to leave you out. I know that you can relate because most of you were standing on the wall trying to get enough nerve to talk to one of us. A lot of you are still trying to get that nerve today. So dancing has always been a part of my life, even as an adult. But when I started hearing about this dance craze in Chicago called stepping, I said, what is that? I was curious. So I started going to clubs. There was a popular club in Chicago called the 50-Yard Line. It was one of the greatest stepping clubs you could think of. I walked in there and guess what? Everyone had OUS, their own unique style. They had on the finest clothes. They drove the finest cars. And they could step like no one else. Everyone had their own unique style of stepping. So I thought, I've got to learn how to do that. So I took a class. I went to the class, and the instructor gave us an 8-count step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I thought, that doesn't look very cool. So I need to develop my OUS for this. I got my own unique style of stepping. I added my hips and my shoulders, and before you know it, I was stepping. Oh yes, I was stepping with the best. So one day, our instructor called us to the front of the classroom, and he began to tell us how he was one of the greatest steppers around. He had been stepping for 25 years or more. He had won many stepping contests. He said, now, I can teach you how to step, but if you want to know how to be cool, if you want to know how to be smooth when you step, look at Deidre. I had no idea he was even watching me, but because I had OUS, he saw the moves that I made, and he said, she's the smooth operator. And that's where I got that name. Now, stepping may not be your thing, but what is it that makes you stand out from the rest? When you go for that job interview, what's going to make that interview say, this is the person we want for the job? When you go to the Shark Tank and want investors to spend millions of dollars, what's going to make them pick your product? You've got to have your own unique style, because when you do that, then you too will become a smooth operator.
One minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Our sixth contestant is Brad Belmore. You'll go to hell for that. You'll go to hell for that, Brad Belmore.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters guests, have you ever had one of those days where it seems like everything just goes straight to hell? Yeah, I'm getting some love back there. I had one of those days in high school, and it started the worst way possible. A pretty girl was talking to me. Her name was Chrissy, and I had a crush on her forever, and I was too afraid to talk to her. But she approached me that day. As the captain of the cheerleading squad, she saw it as her obligation to date the captain of the football team. Me. That was going to be her great contribution to making the world a better place. The problem was, back then, I didn't date. In high school, I went to this really strict church that believed everything was a sin. Going to the movies was a sin, playing cards was a sin, dancing was a sin. In fact, trying to figure out what was a sin was a sin. And that would make Patrick proud because I got through high school without going to hell by doing absolutely nothing. I just got to the point that whenever one of my friends would invite me to do anything, I would just bark out, "That's against my religion." And sometimes it get a little awkward. Dude, seriously? Lunch is against your religion? But I wasn't going to hell, so I was happy. I was hungry, but I was happy. And that was all about to unravel. Because that morning, Chrissy said to me, "We should go to the dance together after the football game tonight." To which I responded as I was prepared to say, "Sure!" Except that sure, the one I did now, 10 times more manly than what I actually said that day. So I quickly turned to walk away before I could embarrass myself. I'd like to pause for a moment because I know somebody in the room right now is judging me for setting aside my convictions so easily. But I'd like to say in my defense, I'm not the first man to follow a pretty face into hell. I'd like to say in your defense, though, I asked myself the very same thing. Because as I'm walking away, I realized, I'm going to hell. If I walk through the doors of that dance, I might as well just check in with Satan and begin my eternal damnation right now. Because I know from church, dancers go to a burning hell full of pain and anguish and suffering forever and ever and ever. But worse than that, I was about to expose my secret shame to the world. I can't dance. If there's a dance contest between me, Frankenstein, and the Mummy, third place for me, solid. The reason for that, as far as I can tell, there's two things you need to be a good dancer. First, you got to have a little wiggle. I got wiggle. I was an amazing running back in high school. I was elusive, I was evasive, I knew how to shake my hips to make the hecklers miss. I got wiggle. What I lack is the second thing, probably the more important thing. I got no rhythm. Remember that strict church I told you about? It's a hand clapping church. Everybody claps their hands through every song, all the time. Because that's the way God likes it. Everybody clap their hands, except for me. So when I clap my hands, eventually I get off beat so bad, I screw up everybody around me. Finally, the pastor pulls me aside and says, "Son, you gotta stop clapping your hands when we sing." I said, "But that's the way God likes it." God don't like it when you clap your hands. And he says, "When you mess up everybody like that, that makes Jesus cry." "You don't want to make Jesus cry, do you?" I went, "No, sir." He said, "Well, good, you should go to hell for that." So then, I'm perplexed, so I say, "What am I supposed to do?" He came up with this great response. "You ever feel the temptation to clap those hands? You take them hands, shove them deep in your pants pockets, they'll go, and you keep them there until we're done singing. But don't you touch anything, you should go to hell for that." without going to hell. Perhaps you're not like me. Perhaps you have great rhythm. And you put that little wiggle, you get to the dance floor, everybody loves you. But if you're not like that, if you are like me, and your rhythm and your wiggle collide, well, that's a train wreck nobody wants to see. And that's exactly the ugly I bring to the dance floor. It's like I'm in the Matrix, but instead of dodging bullets, I'm dodging the beat. And now you understand my dilemma. Not only am I going to be damned, I'm going to be embarrassed in front of the entire school. That day at school, I had such utter anxiety. My stomach was in knots. I felt sick. I'm trying to think if there's got to be a way out of this. And that's when I realized there's a football game to play. And I went into that game as recklessly as I could, hoping I could get lucky and break my leg. Unfortunately for me, amazing wiggle and excessive recklessness combined for the best game of my life. I was completely untouchable. Eventually we're way ahead, and the coach pulls me out, puts the second team in. As soon as I sat on the bench, all that anxiety came crashing back. My stomach's churning, I'm rocking, holding myself, thinking, I'm the most unlucky man in the world. I can't get hurt, and I've got to go on a date with a gorgeous cheerleader. And that's when I realized she's calling my name. Because the cheerleaders used to stand right behind where our bench was. So I get up and I stumble over to where Chrissy was, praying that there'd be some way out of this. And that's when the miracle happened. I puked on her shoes. This is amazing. I don't have to go to the dance. No embarrassment, no damnation. I was thrilled. Chrissy, not so much. But I'd like to tell you she got over that. She went from being my crush to being my high school sweetheart to ultimately becoming my wife. But that'd be a lie. Chrissy never spoke to me again. Which is for the best, because had we dated, she eventually would have dragged me to the dance, and this would have happened. Making people watch this, you know, go to hell for that.
Silence while the judges mark their bags. Our seventh contestant is Dan Stanton. Permanent reminder of a temporary feeling. Permanent reminder of a temporary feeling, Dan Stanton.
Tattoo. Now, my father would tell you that, sorry, it's PG-13, tattoos are a temporary reminder of a permanent feeling. And I couldn't disagree with him more. See, ladies and gentlemen, I have a tattoo that's extremely recognizable. It's of the Fighting Irishman of Notre Dame. Right. Now, there's 3 people that should have this tattoo. 1, you went to the University of Notre Dame. 2, you went to a high school named after the University of Notre Dame. Or 3, you played college football and may or may not have had a good fake girlfriend. Possibly. I, unfortunately, have none of these. So every year in college, remember college, least amount of responsibility, most amount of free time, my wrestling team would travel to Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about how I got tattooed in Vegas. We would fly on Friday to Las Vegas, land, practice Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. No drinking, no gambling, no girls. No wandering the strip, no stripping girls. And we competed. At that night, we raged. Honestly, if you look at Merriam's dictionary, to rage is to lock 20 adults in a hotel room in Vegas for the weekend and then tell them they can do anything they want. Challenge accepted. So we went out. We got thrown out of Caesars. We got booted out of the Bellagio. Paris wouldn't even let us in. She lets everyone in. And we found ourselves back in that same hotel room with some beer and nothing to do. And that's when my buddy Larry, Larry, the guy I asked to be in my wedding, says, hey, why don't we go down to the courtyard and grab one of those penguins that's down there? Now, I've done one of 2 things that most of my teammates haven't done. I've gone to class and paid attention. So I thought, let's see where this idea is going to go. And as the idea permeated, I saw 2 individuals jump up and run out into the hallway. They jump into the elevator. They go down to the lobby. I hear ding, 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 ding as the slot machines are going off. They run past the craps table and out into the courtyard. And from our room, looking down, you could see 2 boys standing in a guardrail, looking over some water at a penguin exhibit, staring at their destiny. And one of them jumps in. So we run. We're scattered. I go down the hallway and I duck underneath the bed and I think, they are getting arrested. This is Vegas. 20 minutes go by after I'm contemplating how well I look in an orange jumpsuit. I decide to return to the scene of the crime, and there's 2 guys standing there, covered head to toe in penguin poop. Soaking wet, with their fingers bitten, and I think, we need tools. So I grab the backpack and I toss it to one of the guys and I say, go! They run down the hallway, into the casino, out into the courtyard, and they throw the backpack in a broom over into the exhibit, and we're standing there going, they are definitely getting arrested. As they stand in the exhibit, I tell you, there's an odd feeling watching a grown man try and sweep a bird into a backpack. And next thing you know, our door flies open. They run right into the bathroom, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Mr. Squiggles. We turn the cold water on, he's a penguin, we know what to do. All right? Mr. Squiggles pooped in our bathtub. So what do? We party. A couple minutes go by, and I hear the door crash open, and our wrestling coach walks in and says, what do you got in here? A hooker? I look him square in the face and say, you wish. The only legal thing we're doing right now. So our party is over. I grab Mr. Squiggles and place it back in the backpack. I pick it up and I throw it on and I say, we're gonna return you. I stand out in the hallway and I'll tell you, there's an odd feeling that you'll get as you watch a penguin try and nuzzle his way out of a backpack. So we run into the elevator, we hit the lobby button, we go down 1 floor, and a nice couple walks in. They say, how are you doing? Instantly captivated by what is the Amber Alert going on in my backpack. As Mr. Squiggles does what he does best. Squiggles. We hit the lobby floor and bolt through the casino. casino. I see the blur of lights, the mass of people. I reach the exhibit, I open the backpack, and I let Mr. Squiggles free. And then I throw the backpack into the exhibit, like a perfect criminal with the broom, and a college t-shirt, and our footprints, and any other assortment of incriminating activity that we possibly could have left. And I bolt. I start running down the strip. I see the stardust, and I think, how do I make this night so memorable? I kick open the door of the tattoo parlor and say, I'm a lucky fighting Irishman. Why don't you give me a tattoo? Man, was that guy creative.
And now we will try again to have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. Our 8th contestant is Garrett Gray. Caution, men at twerk. Caution, men at twerk. Yes, I said twerk. Garrett Gray.
One dark Halloween night. A loud noise woke me up. Now, being the man of the house, my instincts kicked in. Honey, will you go see who that is? I'll guard the bedroom. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests with cowardly spouses. I had to man up. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find. My wife's curling iron. It was go time. I bolted down those stairs. I tore open that front door, and I went toe to toe with a ferocious kitty cat. The cat scampered 15 feet away. I faced tougher cat burglars. This one was a pussycat. But fearing the lost cat would disappear into the night, I had to use a talent that very few people know that I, Garrett Gray, possess. I'm a cat whisperer. Now you too can learn the hidden secrets of interpersonal feline communication. It's the newest Toastmaster manual. Now my wife says, Garrett, what you need is interpersonal female communication. There's one for that too. Gentlemen, 5 products designed for you to master the fine art of saying, yes, dear, a wise purchase. Back to the cat. Cat whispering is very rare to see. So I limbered up my muscles. I readied my vocal cords, Figaro, and it went a little something. Like this. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. The cat came, and I brought it inside. Now the key to cat whispering is all in the twerk. The Oxford Dictionary defines the word twerk as shaking what your mama gave you. Now I realized I needed to find this lost cat its home. The next morning, I put up flyers, faster than a Kardashian can get married. That's fast. Night came. Ding dong. I opened my door, and I came face to face with a large man with a big bushy beard wearing blue overalls and a straw hat. He looked like something the cat dragged. I said, "Sorry, pal, Halloween was yesterday. Scram." But the man insisted. "No, I'm Cletus. I'm here with the cat." "Come on in, Cletus. Where are you from? Georgia? Alabama?" "No, Kankakee." I got the cat and plopped it on my table. "Well, that sure looks like my Clementine, but you have a guitar?" "Yeah, I have a guitar." "Why?" "Well, when I play my guitar, my Clementine, she dances." "But don't worry, she don't twerk like that Miley Cyrus." "No siree, not her." "No. She dances to Billy Ray Cyrus. Achy breaky heart, hoo-wee." Now I know what you're thinking at this time. Cuckoo, cuckoo. But I couldn't resist. Cat dances to Cletus could become the next YouTube sensation. Cha-ching. I gave Cletus my guitar. Cletus started to sing. "Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you were lost and now I found you. How I love you, my Clementine." And you know what that cat did? It hissed. Jumped off the table and hid under my couch. I stopped Cletus's farming concert. "Cletus, I guess that's not your Clementine." "Are you kidding me? That's exactly like my Clementine. She's always playing hard to get." But there's one more thing to be sure. You see, my Clementine loves taking baths with me. You have a bathtub? "Yeah, Cletus, I have a bathtub." "Wait. Come here, Cletus. Give me that guitar. Get out of here and stay out." Now, getting rid of Cletus was easy. After all, I'm a CE, a competent ex-communicator. Toastmasters has a manual for everything. After the Cletus fiasco, the lost cat did find a home. Mine. Be kind to lost animals, because you just might find a new friend. And now, that cat's me, Pally. We do everything together. And I do mean everything.
May we have 1 minute of silence while the judges mark their ballots. And then I will ask everyone to remain silent for the judges to complete their ballots, and the ballots have been collected by the vote counters. So please, please, please try not to talk. Please try to remain silent until all of the ballots have been collected.
Madam Toastmasters, we have collected all the ballots.
Thank you. Let's give a really, really big hand for all of our contestants. Wasn't that a wonderful contest? And now we're going to get a chance to actually get to know our contestants a little bit better. So will all of the humorous speech contestants join me on the stage at this time for a brief interview? Before we begin, let's just applaud them and yell and scream. For being silent, because I know that's really hard. For Toastmasters, that's really hard. Oh, I have your Don't want to forget your... Patrick Devitt, you have been a Toastmaster for 2.5 years, and you represent the Chicagoland AT&T Toastmasters.
That's right.
You've already received your CC and your CL.
Correct.
You say you're inspired by opportunities. What was your best opportunity?
No.
And aside from nothing.
That's all I got.
Nothing else to say?
No, that sums it up.
Well, let's give him a big hand for nothing. Cassie Moore, you've been a Toastmaster since April, just since April.
Wow.
And you represent the Naperville 2051 Club, where you are working on your CC. She doesn't even have her CC yet, can you believe it? You're an artist, so tell us a little bit about what kind of art you like to do.
Well, actually, I do all sorts, and I do fine art. I've actually done murals on people's walls. I have touched into every medium possible. So art is basically my background, and not a speaker, an artist.
And which do you prefer?
At this point, I think I like speaking.
Direct speaking. Here's your certificate. Thank you very much. Yvonne Bailey, you've been a Toastmaster for 6 years. You represent the Park Forest Toastmasters, and you have received your ACV. You create greeting cards, and you're a poet. Can you tell us about that?
That is something I'm passionate about because in poetry, you touch the heart of other people, and that's where I connect. Creating a brighter tomorrow begins by changing your life today. You heard me. The children don't get it yet.
Can you say that a little slower?
Creating a brighter tomorrow begins with changing your life today by taking that first step and exercising your faith. Just a little snippet. Hopefully I can do that one day for a living.
We'd love to see her greeting card. Here's your certificate of participation. Thank you so much. Kathy Jo has been a Toastmaster for 4 years at Baxter's Toastmaster Club. And can you just tell me what achievement you've achieved? Achievement you achieved.
I think the biggest achievement is for my Toastmaster. This is here. So plus another one is that I was so persistent, I found my iPad.
Don't go away. Kathy is recording a cookbook. What kind of recipes are in it?
Bean soup.
And she's doing it on her iPad, I'm sure. Thank you very much for participating. Deidre Blair has been a Toastmaster for 1.5 years at the BCBS, that's Blue Cross Blue Shield Toastmasters. And we heard her sing a little bit. But did you know she's published 2 songs? Can you sing one of them, or part of one, please?
I'm a giant slayer. That's the snippet you'll get.
Come on, let's have another one.
Both songs that I wrote. I used to sing with a group called Shekinah Glory Ministry. Many of you may have heard of them. They had a CD called Praise Is What I Do. So I have a song on there called I Worship You in the Spirit that went gold. And I'm very proud of that accomplishment. And Giant Slayer was a song that I actually wrote with my pastor. Sounds like rock and roll. It's really hard rock. And we enjoyed doing it.
We hope to hear you one of these days. Maybe at the karaoke later on. Thank you very much. Brad Belmar has been a Toastmaster for 3 years at CVS Caremark. He's got his ACS and his ALB, and he said that ideas are like food to him. So, which food do you like the best?
Well, if we're talking food, it's anything at hand. But I tend to gravitate towards Thai. In terms of if we're going with the metaphor there, any idea. Like I need a constant influx of ideas to get through my day, and I feel like it was kind of wasted. So, especially people who disagree with me, I love it. So, throw your ideas at me.
Especially ideas he disagrees with. We're going to talk about that. Thank you so much. Dan just joined Toastmasters in February. And he is in the CVW Riverside Toastmasters, working on his CC. Now, I don't know if we can really talk about this here, but he wrote on his bio that he brews beer. And I want to know if it's bootleg or legal.
It's 100% legal, so you can't make your own beer. I would tell you, if anybody's looking for a great hobby where you like to not only drink beer, but stare at a pot of boiling water for 3 hours while your wife yells at you, brewing beer is fantastic. And then you get to reap the benefits afterwards. So it's always fun. It's always fun.
Thank you so much. And here is your certificate of participation. Gary has been a toast. Great. I can't even read my own writing anymore. Has been a Toastmaster for a year and a month at Orland Park Toastmasters. He has already received his CC and last Thursday his ACB. We know he's a cat whisperer, and I want to know what stunts you've taught your cats to do and how you do it.
Well, my main cat that you saw in the last picture, that wasn't photoshopped. That's what the cat does. He did come to my house, much like I said. And a guy did come to play the guitar for the cat, much like I said. But he saw the ad in the liquor store or the flyer, but I don't know. I have not trained this cat. It must have fell off of a circus train, because honestly, it does all this stuff. It'll climb on me in the bathtub, everything, you name it. Stand on his back legs. It's awesome.
Cats are amazing. We'll talk about that another time. Here's your certificate. Thank you so much. I know what it's like to stand here in front of a crowd and try to make them laugh, and I think you guys did an amazing job. I really enjoyed it, and so did everybody else. The winners will be announced after dinner, so a little more suspense, and we will be finishing dinner around 7 o'clock. I would now like to hand the floor back to the Colonel before she gets angry. Oh my God, here she is. The wonderful Colonel Jill.
Before you all leave, I'd like to summarize what we just heard. We went from nothing to naked, GPSs and iPads, dancing and puking, tattoos and twerking. What a great afternoon. The contest is now ended. We will reconvene for dinner at 6 p.m.
And now, for the humorous speech
go to the comedy club than you can come to a Toastmasters humorous contest. Great job to all the contestants and Melissa for doing a great job with that contest. Let's give everybody a round of applause for participating. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Third place in the humorous speech contest goes to Cassie Moore. And to think, all of that mud led to this. Okay, great. And now, for the runner-up, the second place winner of the humorous speech contest goes to Patrick Gubbins. So there you go. So something does lead to, I don't know, nothing? Nothing that you so I'm not sure. Thanks for helping. Okay. All right, and let's hear that drum roll for the first place. Okay, the first place winner of the district humorous speech contest goes to Brad Bell.